Now a program that you write in 8085, you will execute it in the lab on your 8085 microcomputer. But till we reach the lab, we have to find an alternative. Hence we will install a simulator that gives us a feel of writing and feeding and executing and seeing the answers of an 8085 assembly language program. So I have chosen, or I installed the 8085 simulator on my desktop. I went to GitHub, I created an account there. After that I logged into my account and then I typed here in the search 8085 simulator. It gave me a lot of 3 results. I chose the first one. I installed this 8085 simulator. If you scroll down, okay, this is how it looks. I will show it to you. You need to install the Java runtime. After that you need to install the compiler. If you want, install the documentation and read it. After you install the 8085 simulator, you will get an icon, a coffee cup like this, which tells you this simulator is a Java program. If I double click on it, it will launch my simulator and we will be ready to type our first assembly language program in it. We are ready to type our first assembly language in the simulator. So here it is easy. The first thing that we tell this simulator is where we are typing the instructions. I use 2 preprocessor directives to tell, okay, my instructions will be fed in memory location C005 by using these 2 directives. The next thing I tell is also, where will I be storing my data? My data, that is 7, was stored in C000 and 3 was stored in C001, but I specify only the first address, and then 04, the 2 data values which will follow. It is 7 and 3. Now please note, we are using this simulator on the desktops. There are simulators also available in the Play Store for your mobile. When you download one, make sure that it works correctly for all the programs. This one on the desktop that I have installed works fine for all. So the first instruction that we use is C000. The next one is move B, A. The next is again load the second value from C001 into accumulator. The next thing is we fire the add instruction. The next is storing the value in C002, and the last is the end of the program, which is 76. Now this 76 will be RST1 in the lab. The next thing that we do is you can use the autocorrect to see whether we made any errors. If no, it will format it and give it to you. We are ready to click the assemble button, and look here, this is what we did in Excel exactly. Okay, now actually what we are interested is in the hex codes and the address where these hex codes will be stored, especially for your lab practical work. After doing this, I execute my program, and then here I go to the memory tab, I check, yes, I got the answer 0A. Now you could repeat this exercise of running the program again by changing the values of the data here. Again do an assemble, click on assemble and then click on run all at a time, and then you will see the new value. The next thing that you have to remember is you will have to note down the value of the registers when you do this in the lab. The accumulator value, which is A, Then register B, C, D, E, H and L. Similarly, the value for the stack pointer and the program counter. Then the next thing that you will have to do is you will have to interpret the value for the flag register. Note here, the parity flag is set to 1. Why? Because A10 is 1010. It has even number of 1s. So the parity flag is set while all the others are preset. So you have to interpret them in the correct way. You will say the sign flag is 0 because the number is positive. The most significant bit in the accumulator is 0. Similarly, you will say 0 flag is 0 because the answer is A. It's a non-zero value. You will say the carry flag is reset. Why? Because there has been no carry generated in this addition. Similarly, here there has been no auxiliary carry generated, hence the value is 0. I hope you have understood and you are ready to try all your assembly language programs henceforth on a simulator till we come to college to try them on the microcomputer. Thank you.